Henry! At Mowers and Blowers!
Hey everyone, it's Henry.
At Mowers and Blowers!
Good morning. Today I'm working on the last of the 7 lawnmowers that I got for free, that's right, free, from my Motherload 27 pit. As you know from the past few episodes, I fixed 6 of them out of the 7. This is the final one, and the reason why this is the final one is because this one actually hurt me. When I first tried to pull the pull rope, right, it pulled out of my hand immediately, violently, hung around here, and this pull rope handle hit me right in the breast. Still have a mark there and a bruise. So I'm scared to even touch this lawnmower, you know what I mean? I'm definitely not going to pull this cord again, because what's the symptoms of it pulling right back like that violently out of your hand? It means that it probably has a sheared keyway. The key on the crankshaft is sheared, therefore it's off timing. So when you try to pull it, it'll recoil back in again violently. Usually a sign of a sheared keyway is also a loose blade. And guess what? This one doesn't even have a blade. Doesn't have a blade adapter either. You know, sometimes that could be the reason why it pulls out of your hand too, is that it has no blade. Because it doesn't have that momentum slower. You know what I mean? If you had a blade on there, it kind of takes the it allows for the momentum and not a snapback. I don't know if I'm describing that correctly, but I think you guys know what I mean. So theoretically, it could snap out of your hands, pull the pull rope out of your hands with a good keyway and no blade, or both, you know. But we won't find out anything unless I take this apart and check out the keyway. In addition, I need to go and find a blade and a blade adapter. I think I probably can. The drive belt is, of course, off of the crankshaft. And actually, the crankshaft doesn't have a pulley on it. So I need to find a blade adapter that has a built-in pulley for the propulsion. Just looking at it right now, it has a sticker here. It says $60. I guess somebody had some kind of a yard sale or something. And it does have gas. I remember when I pulled this, smoke did come out. That one time that I pulled it and it hit my breast, smoke did come out. So the timing's off, but I think it would start. And the Earl is okay. It has 3 cables going from the handle to the mower itself. This handle here going inside the rear, I'm assuming, is the rear wheel drive propulsion engagement cable. So you pull that, it pulls a lever, makes the gearbox move, tightens the belt, and the rear wheels will propel with the engine. This is also a key start, because it has a key switch over here, and the other one here is for what I see is select speed transmission. So there's a knob over here, a lever. This is at 1, 2, 3. As you can see, it moves up and down freely. So this is a good cable. Thinking maybe the cable goes in here, right, and pulls onto the lever. So we're gonna have to do a lot of work underneath the mower today, which I'm not looking forward to. While the cable is rusty, it does work. But I don't know for how long though, because sometimes when it's rusted like that and you keep pulling it, it'll break somewhere there where it's rusted and you'll have to replace the cable. It has a very intricate handle system here, very intricate, you know? Lots of levers and handles, and here's the key switch over here. There's no key, but usually one of those lawnmower keys would work, you know? And then I'm thinking that the battery, since you can't see the battery here, it's got to be around there, which I don't see. I wonder where the battery is. It is an auto choke and it's a quantum engine. And I don't see the battery, which is very odd, unless the battery's hiding over here somewhere. You know, the battery could be in here. Not sure. I've got you on my smaller tripod just to give you guys a better look at the condition of this mower and what I'm seeing right now. This has the height adjustment lever where it's only on one side and it's connected to the front. So you use that lever and you can control the height of both sides and the front with just one lever, as opposed to 4 levers going individually to set the height. That's pretty cool. This cover is a little damaged here with the cracks. As you can see, somebody had a yard sale and they listed it for 60 bucks. I wouldn't pay 60 bucks for the condition of this right now, would you? Like I said, this is the drive speed cable is what it says. I'm thinking it goes in there and connects onto something. I'm going to show you the bottom now. As you can see, the baffle or belt cover, I think it acts as both, right? You can see that the belt is kind of kinked there and melted. There is no blade or blade adapter or pulley for the belt. Looks like it might be missing the front baffle too. You usually have a front baffle over here so that while you're mowing, the grass doesn't spew out the front. So this is missing some things for sure. It's going to be a lot to get this going, to be honest with you. I mean, if you wanted to get this mower perfect, you would need a baffle. And not having a baffle there is troublesome. As you can see, here's the connection to the key start, to the battery. Leads all the way to this apparatus here, where there is the key. Charge battery 8 to 10 hours before first use. Do not charge more than 12 hours. Well, I don't even know how you would charge it. You know what I mean? How do you charge it? Unless it came with some kind of plug-in where you would disconnect this, plug it into the plug-in, plug it into the wall. And I'm thinking the battery's in here. What do you guys think? This area right here, it looks like the battery would be there. I bet you that's where it is. But, you know, I've had a few key starts in my life, and I think I've only had one that actually worked, you know, after you charged it. So chances are this battery's DONESKI! First things first, though, we have to get it started, right? And while it could be just the blade and adapter that's missing, let's take this apart and just check the flywheel key, crankshaft key. First thing I'm going to do is take this cover off. Next we have 3 5/16. And you're going to need 3/8 too. That's missing a screw, so I need another 5/16 screw. It's only being held down with 2. Just move the gas tank out of the way. And I could see the starter motor on the machine. I've had a few of those. 3/8 to loosen the engine cover. I have another 5/16 for the dipstick. Cletus, you dipstick. Okay, that's the 4 3/8. Got the 1 5/16 holding Cletus. Lift it up a little bit, rotate it out of the way, and we're going to take the engine cover off. Not off, off. And the recoil works well. This is an auto choke, as you can see. Everything looks good here. This is the muffler thermostat that when you pull start it, first of all, when it's cold, it's in this position, so the choke flap is closed. When you pull it, these fins here actually blow air into this, which the air vane, which almost acts like a sail. So when you're pulling this hard, wind blows this a little bit and opens it up a little. As the muffler heats up from the engine being started, the thermostat moves slowly forward and keeps this flap open so that once it's heated up, you can restart this again with no problems. So it's really kind of an ingenious idea. Some of the auto choke models that we've seen have lost the spring, which wouldn't allow it to start correctly, so that little spring is very important. This feels good, and we're going to get a socket to take the nut off. Got a 15/16 socket on my DeWalt here, impact, 3/8 inch impact driver. Nut, cup, and we're looking at it right there, and you will see very clearly what we have here. Clean it up for you so you can see better. And it is a typical sheared keyway. There you go. As you can see, the key is here, and it needs to be lined up along this shaft here with the groove. So it's off by some degrees there. So we need to take this flywheel off. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this nut back on here again. So when we bang the crankshaft, right, to remove the flywheel, it doesn't hurt the crankshaft threads on the shaft there. Here's a crowbar that I've stuck underneath the flywheel, and as you can see, when I lift up on it, it's putting pressure on the flywheel upwards. So when I smack this nut with a sledgehammer, right, while pulling this upwards, it'll break the not break, but it will come loose from the shaft. As I'm lifting up on this, what do you see? I see that one of the engine mounting bolts is missing because the engine is not on here correctly. But we'll figure that out when we get this flywheel off. All right. Now I'm going to lock up the brake, take the brake handle, and hold it like that. The reason behind that is because we want the brake to be released off the flywheel. See? I'll show that to you again. Brake is now on the flywheel. Now it's not. So here I go. I'm just gonna lift up on the crowbar and whack this once. Didn't seem like it came loose. We got more problems here because it looks like the threads are messed up. It's not coming loose. That's done. I have broken it. This always works except for today. Today has been a today is a definite exception here. Flywheel is not loose, and yet this nut is done. Just reattach the nut on here. Got a different area where I have the crowbar pushing down instead of lifting up. That time it worked, but I don't know if I could save this nut now. Don't know if we could get that all the way down to, you know, have a good connection. but the flywheel did come off this time. As you can see here, the flywheel, and here's the sheared key. The key has been sheared in half. Here's the other half right here. So it's supposed to look like that, right? So it's been sliced in half, see? So this is designed, I think this is made out of zinc, so it's a softer metal. It's designed to split so that when you hit your blades on the curb or some big branch or a stump, it doesn't ruin the connecting rod on the inside. This breaks before the connecting rod would. So it's basically sacrificing itself for the internal expensive components in it. Speaking of components, this crankshaft here, the threads are everything to hold the flywheel securely onto the engine, right? And because I stripped it from banging it, right? It's questionable whether or not this nut will fit back on here securely enough to hold the flywheel on there. If it isn't, it could shear again, you know what I mean? So I pretty much, while doing this, have DONESKI'd the engine, pretty much, if I can't get this nut on, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's possible I could just try to drive it on here nice and tight, but, you know, most of the time, this technique works to remove the flywheel, but this one was very stubborn. And obviously, the fact that the engine isn't really 100% secure onto the deck, right, is a reason why there could have been some flex, and therefore the crowbar wasn't really leveraging the position of the flywheel to be lifted enough for me to bang downward. So when you're lifting upward and you're banging downward, it should break the seal and it should come off. But because of this flex, I think, it compromised the amount of force, if you will, that I was allowed to hit it with, you know. So that had something to do with it, the missing engine mounting bolt. But it's off. We know that we were right, that it was in fact the sheared keyway for this machine. But I'm just going to try, okay? I'm going to try to save it by getting a new keyway, a key, putting it back on here again, and trying to use that nut to secure this flywheel back on here again. And if that works, then we can save it. If not, you know, this engine's pretty much DONESKI. But that's okay. I have another engine. I have a new Briggs & Stratton key here. And after you line it up, I'm going to slip it right in there, push it in there with a screwdriver. Now I'm going to put the cup back on. There's no right or wrong way to put the cup on because it's just flat here. These two holes here for flywheel pullers. If I had a flywheel puller, I probably wouldn't have damaged this. But flywheel pullers take a long time, you know. So I'm going to try to put this nut back on. Inside, the threads are all trashed, but with an impact, sometimes you could make your own threads as you're putting it on, you know. So let's see if we can tighten this bolt. If not, this engine's done. As you can see, it is stripped completely. The bolt is not, the nut is not going on there. It's not tightening. It'll only come off. I'm thinking, what if I got another bolt? Or is the threads here trashed so bad that it won't go on there? I'm going to try another nut because the threads on this nut are trashed. It's just not going to go on there. But if I had a new nut with new threads, because it's only messed up on the top ½ inch of it, the bottom still seems okay. If I can manage to get the new nut past that inch of bad threads, it'll make its new one and maybe grip onto the ones that are good and be able to keep it down. I'm going to try to find another nut. Can you believe it? I actually found the exact nut in my bin of nuts and bolts. So this one is DONESKI! Now I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna! Let's see if this one will work. I hope so. If not, it's okay. It's just a push mower. And this push mower's got tons of issues too, you know? I'm gonna go slow. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's going down. I have to change the battery on this side. Got a new battery. Much better now, huh? It's going down. I think it's about to touch the new threads. The good threads, I mean. And it is spinning. Flywheel. I'm gonna back it back out again. I don't know. I don't know. Got another one here I'm going to try. It's almost down there, actually. Hey. By Jove, I think I've got it! I think that's it. I think I might have saved it. It's on there, tight. Has good compression. Alright, let me put this back together again and go find a blade and a blade adapter for this, huh? So I went to the backyard into my bin of parts and I found a couple of blade adapters. I've got this Lawn Boy one, right, that has the pulley on it for the self-propulsion, and a blade that should fit. I believe it's a 21. I think this is a 21. Actually, no. Looks like it's too big. No, actually it might be alright. I'm not sure. It's the same size as this one. This one is an MTD one, see? With a blade adapter that fits perfectly. Put 2 bolts in there to secure it. But this one doesn't have the pulley for the self-propulsion. You know, like that. No pulley. So then I came and checked this out. Here's the rear drive, right? And I think the rear drive has been gutted because I am spinning it with my hands in all positions, and I feel absolutely zero resistance or whatever. No gears, nothing. And I think he probably took this apart and gutted it, right? So there's nothing in this gearbox, no gears. And then you trace it. I took the wheel off. So you can see there is gears, right? But the wheel he used has no gears. So that just freewheels. So he's converted this already to it being just a push mower. So that makes my choice easy. Since this transmission doesn't work, it can freewheel as a push mower, which means I do not have to use the pulley one. I'm just going to put this one on and put the blade on. Secure this baffle here to that hole right there. This goes right into there. And then secure this somehow. Actually, I could remove this whole thing because I don't need the belt cover, but you do need the baffle. Otherwise, grass is going to fly all over the place, you know. So I will try to find a way to put this together. As you can see here, this is the engine bolt that's loose on here. This is also loose on here. That's why the engine was moving around. It's only adhered on by 1 bolt. These need to be driven in. I don't know. Very hinky, this machine. It was strange why that was out like that. It was pretty easy to put in. So now the engine is mounted well. I'm going to find a crankshaft bolt now. So, got everything back together again. Took a while, but those blade adapters didn't fit the diameter of this crankshaft. Can you believe that? I think this crankshaft is a little bit more bigger diameter than a typical one. Pain in the butt, you know. So I did find one. The Lawn Boy one with the pulley on it was the only one that fit. So I put it on there, got a blade on there, put the baffle together, the back plastic one. Needed a couple of bolts to go into the frame, and so I think it's on there now. Just put an old blade on there, but I won't lie, it's a little hinky, you know what I'm saying? So I'm afraid to pull on it to start it. I really am. I'm putting this paver right near my feet just in case the blade flies off or something, you know. At least it'll hit this before it chops my leg off, you know. So here we go. I'm going to try to start it. I'm going to stand behind this paver here. Can you believe it works? Can you believe it started on the first pull? Unbelievable, huh? I'm gonna let it run for a little bit, see if that smoke dissipates eventually. But it's smooth, doesn't vibrate or anything. Well, I'm totally amazed. I didn't think that this thing would start up and run like that. This engine runs really well. And you know what? It actually cut pretty well too, you know. I didn't do the whole lawn because of course I just overseeded. Now I'm just sucking up all the seeds and spread them out more, you know, and dicing them actually. So I'm pretty amazed, man, that this thing works and all. I'm going to remove all the cables that are attached to this that I don't need, you know. I'll probably just sell this as a push mower for like 50 bucks or something, you know. It's a good engine, you know. Runs well. So there it is. I am finished with all my push mowers. Every one of these things start and run and are listed for sale. I got a lot of them and I'm not getting many bites at all, to be honest with you. But then again, you know, we've been using that Let Go / OfferUp app and absolutely no bites. OfferUp just absolutely sucks. No bites whatsoever. Here and there, but they're all just BS stuff, you know. But I've got like 4, 8, 12, 15 lawnmowers. Half of them have bags, half of them don't. There's actually a local guy around here in East Northport that I have to go and see now because he has a opposed twin engine that is blown, and he was going to throw it to the curb. As you guys know, I have so many parts for an opposed twin that I might have enough to make an opposed twin engine. All I need is the tins. So hopefully he's going to have what I need to rebuild a opposed twin engine. And also I think he has a couple of baggers, you know, for push mowers. Maybe that would work. Also, I'm on my way to go pick up a John Deere 38-inch bagger system for free. That's right, free. He's a friend of Nick from Medford's, so I have to drive to Medford later and go pick up a free John Deere bagger. I'm going to try to retrofit that John Deere bagger onto my Toro 616Z, because that's the only thing that I'm missing on that zero-turn mower, my favorite. The ones that's a keeper. I'm going to keep it for myself, but the only thing that I don't have on it is a bagger, you know, the bag up leaves. So it might be a future fun project in the future to try to retrofit a John Deere 38-inch bagger onto my 616Z. You know, so that's what I'm headed to do right now. But I was really happy to, you know, be able to get that sheared keyway situation fixed on that Troy Bilt. It was a very hinky mower. A lot of things wrong with it, you know, but for it to start on one pull and then to mow my lawn pretty well, that's pretty good. That engine runs pretty good, you know. But first, I have some small tasks I need to accomplish. As you know, this is a grinder, bench grinder, that I got from my friends Bobby and Larry. And while this is great over here for, you know, sharpening blades and all, I really don't use this part. This is like a buffing pad. I really don't use this side at all. And I remember that there's been occasions, like when I was doing a brake job or something, that I needed a wire bristle one so I can clean off the pistons in the calipers, you know, from the rust. And this just wasn't doing it. So my friend Robert Nighthawk, when he came to visit me from New Hampshire, he lives in Maryland, he bought me one because he knew I needed it. And so this is a 6-inch wired bristle brush disc. And so I've never done this before, so I'm going to try to replace it right now. It looks like that there's just looks like there's just 3 Phillips screws here, but I don't see how it attaches to it though, you know? It doesn't seem to split open, so he said it was easy, so let's see how easy it is. Oh, didn't look like this cover would come off. Looks like I need to impact this off. Got a 3/4 impact. Aha! It's the opposite direction. You would think you go counterclockwise to take it off, right? But it's one of those reverse ones. There we go. I'll save this pad for something else if I ever need it. Gotta make sure that that rubber, that little plastic ring on there is in between. Just not. Fasten this on there. Well, all right. Well, actually, it doesn't seem very tight. It doesn't seem very tight. I think I might have to put a washer in there or something, but this one was pretty tight. Just don't think it's going in anymore. So I got a couple of washers in there, and it's on there nicely now. Before it wouldn't adhere because there was too much space. Didn't think that this would be thinner than that one, you know. But I guess because of the padding, this is thicker. Or maybe I should have taken this off. See, that's what I'll do. This was the regular washer on here. That's what I'll do. I use the original washer on there. That's what I'll do. Yeah, that's it. That's a ticket. I didn't see that. There we go. There you go. That seems more proper. I've got to remember, you're tightening it to tighten. You're loosening it to tighten. There we go. That's it. That's the ticket. So this is definitely going to be more helpful. There we go. Awesome. Thanks, Robert. There's another thing that I just wanted to test real quick. So this is my personal pace, the one that I found the other day, the latest one. This thing runs great, and yesterday I just put some seafoam in there, and it doesn't surge anymore. But then when you start it up for the first time again, it still kind of surges until it runs for about half a minute or so to a minute, and then it starts to run better. I wanted to see whether or not it might be the intake manifold, that gray plastic intake manifold tube that's right on the engine block, whether or not that might be cracked, or maybe the gasket is bad, right? So when I'm running this thing and it's surging, right? Well, whether surging or not, as long as the engine's running, I'm going to spray some of this contact cleaner right underneath the engine cover over there, so that the carb spray will get into that area. And if it sounds like it runs differently from the spray, means that I have some kind of vacuum leak or seal crack or something like that on the intake manifold, which causes it to surge. So I'm going to start it up for the first time in a cold start. We'll see how it sounds. saw, while the engine was running and I sprayed some of this, there was a surge in the acceleration, you know, the engine speed. So I think there's something wrong with that intake manifold. There's a leak or something like that. So I need to take care of that. I'm not going anywhere yet. So what it was the gasket between the intake manifold and the engine block had you could see that there was a lot of oil around that area, you know? So I couldn't understand why there was oil in that area, but the two bolts that went on there, they were a little bit, they were tight, but they weren't like super tight, you know what I mean? So I think over the years, vibration allows oil to come out, then harden, and then it's not really a good seal between the intake manifold and the engine. So I took out everything, including the magneto, because you couldn't get it out without taking the ignition coil off, right? And then I cleaned it, right? And then I actually took a layer of blue RTV silicone and made another gasket for it, and then tightened the bolts down so the intake manifold was solidly on the engine block. It doesn't run as good as the Troy-Bilt that I just fixed today. I mean, that Troy-Bilt one is really smooth, you know? But, you know, it's pretty good. But I did a lot today. I'm not even done. I still got to go see Don from Medford and pick up that bagger, as well as go pick up some parts for an opposed twin. I'm going to try my Goop large orange wipes. It's really difficult to pull out, I got to tell you. It's a bigger towel, you know, than the other one that I tried. It's a bigger towel, but it is kind of difficult to take out of here. So if there's any way you can help that out, it'd be a better deal here. Okay, so that's good, you know. They're very big towels, which I like, you know. It's folded in half like that. And it's drenched with very pleasant smelling orange. Ooh, look at this. Here. It's a big difference, huh? Like I said, the towels are rough, so that's easy to get the dirt off when you scrub. Actually builds up a pretty good lather here. So when you guys get a chance, if you ever see this stuff in the stores, goophandcleaner.com. Go check them out. I love it. So actually, yeah, I went to go pick up that opposed twin engine that's blown, the parts. I just needed like, you know, the engine cover and the side head tins and all that stuff. And he gave me the whole engine. He didn't want it. He was going to throw it out, so I took it. After that, I came over to my new friend, Don from Medford. That's right. He knows Nick from Medford, too. We all swap parts, whatever. And actually, Rodimus Prime originally came from Don from Medford. So I just met Don for the first time. We've talked a lot on the internet via Facebook Marketplace, you know, messaging and all that stuff. So he does exactly what we all do, you know, just like Nick from Medford. But being that he's in such close proximity to Nick, you know, they trade parts, whatever, and it's very useful, you know. But this is the first time I met Don. Very nice guy. And he gave me a weed whacker he didn't want. And so, yeah, you know, when you get stuff from other wrenchers, you know, other flippers like us, right? You wonder if a flipper is going to give you something, then it's definitely not going to work. You know what I mean? But there are people who, if it doesn't work the first time, or it's temperamental and it won't run, you know, all the time, and it just runs when it wants to, you know, you just want to get rid of it. I exactly know how he feels. I wanted to show you, my hands were completely filthy from lifting that blown engine into the thing and, you know, messing with the bagger and all that stuff. My hands were filthy, and I remember that I had put some of these packets, right? I got from goophandcleaner.com the other day, and I kept a whole bunch of packets in my van in case I needed a situation that arose just for today, you know? And when I took it out, look at that. It is a big hand towel, very, very, very durable hand towel, you know, and I could just sit here for a few minutes, and I mean, my hands are like squeaky clean now. So these are very useful to have. I wanted to plug that because you know, if it's a good product, you know, I'll speak all about it, you know, in positive terms. You know, if it sucks, I'll tell you it sucks, but if it's good, it's good. And I tell you, I've been doing this for a while, and very strong towel, you know. I almost don't want to throw it away, you know. But anyway, thanks a lot, Diane from Goop Products. This is very cool. I like it. Now I'm headed home, but I might go to Walmart and get a battery. Hey guys, Boba and I want to thank you for all the support of Mowers and Blowers. If you'd like, make a short video clip like these, and I'll put it as an outro in my future videos.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Henry, next time on Blowers and...
See, you just screwed that all up. I take two.
Henry, see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Great job.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you next time on Mowers and Blowers.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.